Spike then knocked on the door. "Who is it?" "It's me, Spike," said Spike. "Oh, come in." Spike walked into to Lightning Dust. She was sitting on her bed. She was a bit afraid if Spike heard something. "I was walking by to see if you need something. If you need any, if you're hungry or need some company or something." Lightning Dust was quiet for a moment. "No, I'm fine," said Lightning Dust. "Okay," said Spike. But then, before he was entered leaving the room, he stopped, but without turning around, and said, "I think you are a quite beautiful piggy. Even you're older than me, but I think you're smart, honest, and even, well, adorable." Then Spike left. Lightning Dust was really taken aback. She never thought Spike, of all other creatures in Ponyville, would like her. So the next day, Lightning Dust has been thinking about asking Spike out. So she actually then, later that same afternoon, noon, Spike was actually alone in the cutie map room reading a comic. Spike. "Oh, hi, Lightning. How are you? You okay?" "Yeah. I would like to ask you something." "Sure, go ahead." "Spike, would you like to go out with me?" She was quite nervous, and she was even so red in her face because she was so nervous. Spike looked at her and thought she was maybe joking, but he could see that she was actually serious. And Spike said, "Sure, why not?" "When? Oh, when do you like to go out?" "Well, Twilight and another here, so late in the afternoon maybe." "Okay." So later afternoon around 3, Spike and Lightning Dust went to a local restaurant to eat something. They were first sitting there quiet without saying anything, but then Spike wanted to break the ice, so he spoke and asked her, "How do you like Ponyville so far?" "Oh, well, it is quieter than the main hand, that is for sure. But I don't know if anyone would like to be my friend here." "Hey, come on. It would be easy for you to make friends. You have to be yourself," said Spike. "You're quite mature, even for a baby dragon." "Yeah, I would have to think with Twilight and her friends," said Spike. Spike and Rare and Lightning Dust had a really great time there. There was more talking, and Lightning Dust drove some jokes, which Spike couldn't resist to laugh about. "That was a good joke, Lightning," said Spike after they left the restaurant. "You thanks." So Spike and Lightning Dust took a walk afterwards. But later they went back to the castle. Twilight was back, and she wondered what they had been. Spike looked at Lightning Dust and she looked at him. Well, we were on a date. A date? Really? You two? Are you surprised? Says Spike. Yeah, a little surprised, says Twilight. But as long as you're happy, Spike, I'm happy for you. Thanks, Twilight. Twilight then left the dinner for themselves. Spike and Lightning Dust. They continued to talk in the living room for a couple of hours, and later on, a few weeks later, Lightning Dust had a work with the local weather team and at Sugarcube Corner as part-time work to deliver some cookies, cakes, or anything she could deliver. And Spike actually started falling in love with Lightning Dust. And with help with Twilight and some savings from Lightning Dust's two-part works, she actually had enough money to buy her own small apartment in the Ponyville. But she's staying from time to time in Castle. And her feelings for Spike remained, but they always get stronger for every day that passed. And even Spike started to like her more and more for every day. At first, Rainbow was really against their relationship. But after Spike even tried to talk to her, but she wouldn't listen. But then, after Spike tried over and over and over, so like 10 times, Rainbow finally forgave Lightning Dust. But it took them at least a few months before they even became friends. First, there was like some sort of rival between them, but Lightning tried over and over to be friend with Rainbow. But after she actually saved Spike from falling down from the roof, Rainbow then understood that Lightning really has changed. She kinda has been reformed. So after the day when Spike was saved by Lightning Dust, Rainbow had accepted their relationship. Lightning Dust and Spike's relationship grew stronger for every day that passed. And after nearly 10 years together, Spike felt ready to take the next step in their relationship. So, what would he do? So, he went to a local store to buy a ring, and he was going to propose to Lightning Dust at the next date. He had fixed a picnic basket, some flowers, some sandwiches, cake, some apple cider from Sweet Apple Acres, and the day he actually did it. He was so nervous. But then he went one knee and then pulled out the ring and asked, Lightning Dust, will you marry me? And Lightning Dust was so happy. She started to cry and she said, yes, 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 yes. And they told their friends about them. And since Lightning Dust, her parents were quite opposite happy, but after they met Spike and they started to learn to know him better, they actually approved their engagement. And the wedding took place about 6 months later at Sweet Apple Acres. Since they didn't have enough room for all the guests, like from Crystal Empire, the Shang Kingdom, Forax and his brother, or some other Shang were invited, and even Ember from Dragonlance was also invited. And later they had a son with help with Twilight, and they named his son to Sapphire Emmer, and they lived happily ever after. The